Are you in the same place as you were last year? If the answer is yes, then this video is for you. The reason being is because there's all of these business gurus and motivation speakers, etc. And then fast forward to today, none of that's actually helping. It's just helping people procrastinate. It maybe can help you get off the couch for a day, but then it's that discipline to keep it going. And the whole sense of today's discussion is literally action. That is the only separation from you right now from where you want to be. Before getting into the action, the first point I want to make is digestible bites. What do I mean by that? Is everyone wants to change their entire life in 24 hours. They want all their goals and aspiration in 24 hours or even a year. That's not possible. And Henry Ford once said that you can achieve the biggest goal in the world as long as you break it down in small, digestible steps. And when you do that, then you can get everything you ever wanted in this lifetime. The most successful people I've ever met, including myself, have always had a plan. It's not just like, we gotta get everything done today. That urgency is okay and good, but you have to have a plan, because if you don't plan, then plan to fail. And what I mean by this is when you have a plan, you're actually knowing the direction you want to go into. And then you see a timeline. You know what you can actually get done in, a month, a year, etc., etc. And everyone that kind of lacks to get what they want, it's because of just the fact that they're not applying a plan, they're not applying action. It's as simple as that, people. And now the second point is the plan. The plan is very, very vital. Why is this and what is this? Is you get a piece of paper. I don't care if it's just ripping off from a book, a sticky note, whatever it may or might be, put it in front of you, write down your name, write down the date, write down what your goals and aspirations are, and then write down a timeline. This timeline can be age 1 to 100, being optimistic, maybe even 120. And then you want to work and fill in when you want to obtain these goals. I'm a broken record. I've said this probably hundreds and hundreds of times, but this is crucial. This is vital, and this is what it takes to actually change your life. A thought experiment for all of you: you can't play basketball without a hoop. You can't paint without a canvas. What I mean by this is exactly like your goals. When you write them down, now your brain is open with the perception of what it has to connect the dots for. Now that you have this, now you have to just apply a direction. Then you have to apply action, and everything else will figure itself out. But without that, yes, you're going to be scroll-brained. You're going to be like, I want to do this. And you talk to your friends or your family 3 months from now at Christmas, Thanksgiving, or whatever, and they'll be like, hey, did you start that business? Did you do this? Did you do that? And you're like, no, because of this or this and that. But it really came down to is you didn't take action. And if you failed, at least you tried. And when you do fail, you're one step closer to actually getting to where you want to be. But without action, nothing changes. Nothing will change, and it never will. The last and most important point you all have been waiting for is action. It sounds cliche, it sounds so simple, and you're like, wow, I watched this whole video or listened just to hear you say action. I knew that. Do you? Because actually self-reflect. How much further are you right now than who you were a year ago, 2 years ago, etc.? That girl or guy that you want to ask out, did you? Probably not. You're probably just liking the post and thinking, oh, they'll maybe reach out. They'll maybe see that I'm interested. But you didn't ask them on a date. That business you've been telling your friends and family or just stuck in your back of your head somewhere, did you sign the EIN? Did you get the LLC, the S Corp, C Corp, etc.? And until that, nothing's going to change because that's the action. Once you do this, you are forced to actually do something about it now. And that's what scares people, and that's why nothing changes. Nothing changes unless something changes. It's as simple as that. I've said it before, I'll say it again. And when it comes with all of this stuff, you have to kind of even be lazy if you have to. Some of the most successful people I know, they force themselves in debt. They buy that fast car. They ask that girl or guy out. They buy that house, whatever it is. They do it, and now they have to actually figure it out. That's the only separation. They just took the risk, they took the leap and the action. And actually, majority of the time, they're not much smarter than you. If anything, they're probably less educated, and their brain isn't like super smart and saying this, and that, and the other thing can go wrong. It's saying, hey, just do it. They have that self-belief. And that's a video for another day with self-belief, but you have to believe in yourself. And when you do, all this stuff is gonna come together like a concoction, and it's all gonna work out, I promise you. Because guess what? If you do these risks, you apply this action, and it doesn't go how you want it to, when you're on your deathbed, you're gonna reflect and say, hey, at least I tried. Instead of, what if? Because that what if is what kills people. It's what has them literally on their deathbed and say, why didn't I do it? Where could I have been? Who could I have been? And until you literally take these risks, that there is no risk, that's all illusion, you will never know. Because regardless, if you do option A and you try, or option B and you do nothing, you are going to die. So with that, I don't want to get too worked up here, but the reason I feel credible with this story is because I came from nothing, okay? Parents died when I was 19. I didn't come from money. I had to build it all myself. I had to be resourceful and build my network and figure all of this stuff out from the beginning to where I am now. So I have a lot of extreme emotion when it comes to these topics. And it is simple because that's what I did. When I look back on where I was so stagnant in my life, when I was depressed and I didn't even want to live anymore, the only separation is I wasn't applying action. I was pessimistic, I was in the corner, just watching, complaining about life. But until I threw away that victim card, I got out there and I actually stopped making excuses, I applied action, and I said, what if I just try? And that's when things actually changed for me in my life. So when you finish this video, or listening or watching, write down that plan, write down your name, your goals, and a timeline, and apply action. You will come back from this years from now, and you're gonna know the only separation from you now to the dream you is the fact that you applied action, and you will be thankful for your you now when you are the you as your dream self. So with that, my friends, thank you as always, and until next time.